right, what the heck is an MCP? I'm sure you've heard the term, everyone's getting pretty excited about it, but what does that mean for you? So an MCP is a tool that your AI can use, and this has really no setup, and it doesn't really need a software developer or anything like that. You're basically just giving your AI access to a tool that you would use yourself, but instead of you taking those actions, your AI will. And so an example of what this looks like in practice is without an MCP, you could ask Claude or Copilot to send an email to Sarah. And what it'll do is it'll make a draft for you, and then you'll need to copy and paste that into, say, Outlook and send it yourself. But when you have an MCP enabled, you can say, hey, send that email to Sarah, and it will just go out and do that for you. You don't need to open the application. You don't need to copy and paste. You're not the one that's hitting the send button. It will do it all for you. So one of them talks about it. With an MCP, it just does it. So it's really, really cool in that way. And so what we used to use, and why an MCP is so exciting, is that we used to use APIs. And these APIs, some of them could be pretty easy, but a lot of them had a lot of integration. You should be a software developer. I've hooked up quite a few myself. I would say I spent a lot of time troubleshooting to get some of these APIs hooked up. And so with an MCP, it's just so much easier. But what an API used to do is, let's say we have this application, a weather application, and you can see it's 72 degrees. The reason why we know it's 72 degrees is that this software was hooked up to some weather software, and it went and got that information, that data, and displayed it for me. So that API is kind of that middle ground where it goes and fetches that information and brings it back for us to use. And now, instead of going and building out these different tools, these different API integrations, we just get the MCP information. So I connect my AI once, and then that connection is complete. It can now go and act on my behalf moving forward. APIs were more so meant for software developers. MCPs are meant for AI to go talk to other AI pieces. So very cool, very different with how we used to do a lot of this stuff. Now, some examples. Once you install one of these, I think you'll be kind of sold on this whole thing, but let's look at a Google Calendar MCP. So what can you do with this? Instead of me having to open up my calendar and add a meeting, I can tell my MCP, my AI. I'm not telling my MCP. I'm just typing something or speech to text something into my AI agent, and it will go and do this for me. It already has that in the background. I don't need to say it every time. I don't need to hook it up each time. I can say, hey, go add this meeting to my Google Calendar, and it will go and do that. Another really cool way, kind of a next level way of using this, is setting up a daily brief. So I can set up my AI to every morning at 8 a.m. going through my calendar for the day and giving me a breakdown of what my day looks like. And it can do that for me every day, 8 a.m. So it's really cool once you get these enabled. You can kind of start having this executive assistant at your fingertips at all times. Okay, that email example, that email we sent to Sarah, you're able to do that with, let's say, Outlook MCP. And how this can kind of go to the next level is, let's say you have another job that works every morning at 8 a.m. and sends out an email to all of your warm leads that it gathered for you the night before, or follow up on all of your emails with this certain text tag with it. It can go and do all that for you. So it can really automate a lot of that follow-up that's really annoying when you have your own business. And last example I have here is with Obsidian. I think this one's the most exciting because we're so used to using all these different AI tools, and we're used to having to explain what we were doing before every time we go and use this. And this is a problem with something called context. And all context is remembering what we did previously. And so when you use any of these tools, let's say you're in Claude, you describe your business strategy, you go through, you build on that, and your Claude credits ran out for the day, or you use your monthly amount. So you go over and you try to use Gemini, and you're trying to do the same business strategy work, but you have to re-explain everything. And what you can do when you have an MCP enabled to Obsidian is each time you finish something, you can have that AI put it into your Obsidian, and so you have kind of this one single source of truth every time you open another AI application. So this can be so powerful. They call it a second brain. I have a video coming out on it soon. This can really change how you use AI and really make you a much more capable person and have so much more context and nuance to everything that you're doing with your AI agents. So very cool. You can set it up once and then just have your AI always be writing to that MCP. So now you know what having an MCP is. It takes you from a chatbot to an executive assistant that can just go and get things done on your behalf. So useful. If you want it to be even more useful, I have a guide for you. All you have to do is join my school community. You'll get this guide with a bunch of others. I have cheat sheets, starter packs, walkthroughs on all kinds of different AI tools. This is one of them. And what I have here for you today is a starter kit for MCPs, and then the 8 MCPs I think are worth installing first with the instructions on how to do that. It will be down in my description below if you want to go ahead and pick this up. I think it's super useful. And lastly, if you liked how this looked, I did this with Lovable, and Lovable is today's sponsor. And you can go ahead and get that link in my description below as well if you want to try out Lovable yourself. But this is all through creating a Lovable prompt and getting this really, I think, cool result. Hopefully you agree. If you do, feel free to click the link below and try it out for yourself. I think it's one of the best prototype app website building tools that we have out there right now. All right, thank you so much. Go out and build something and let me know what the first MCP that you put together does and how you have used this technology. I'm eager to know. All right, bye.